Okay, idiots on parade. The two. I already forgot our tagline. Hello, idiots on parade. The two ugly for TV podcast. That's what it is. We mock the news, so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. Well, you were solving technical difficulties. I ran down all the stories we're going to talk about, but I did not send you this. We're going to open the same way we did last week. Last week, someone in the chat just bumped right in and said, hey, what's going on with Shedeur Sanders? So we talked that. This isn't a sports podcast, but they took him in the Browns took him in the fourth round. And
this is
what's that?
Thought it was the fifth.
I thought it was the fifth too, but I'm looking at something right now that says it was the fourth. I thought it was the fifth, but yeah. See, okay, I've got two conflicting headlines right in front of me. I thought it was the fifth.
He's on there at least, you know. I think
he's on there. But here,
whole situation.
Here's why this is hilarious to me. I had forgotten this until someone pointed it out. The Browns' star player, Myles Garrett, defensive player. He's pretty much their only star player. He tried to quit the team over the summer. He said, I want to end my contract. I want out. You guys suck. You are dysfunctional. You're the worst team in the world. I should never have signed with you. Void my contract. Trade me. Myles Garrett wanted to be traded. Well, they threw a ton of money at him. They increased his contract, so he stayed. But one of his quotes was, they assured him they have their quarterback situation figured out. They said, hey, we're going to get you a quarterback. We're going for a championship. Well, the Browns now have 5 quarterbacks. They have they drafted Gabriel, what's his name? Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, Shedeur in the 5th. They have Journeyman Joe Flacco, who's always good and did good from the other day. They have Deshaun Watson, the perpetually injured, who has got a $200+ million contract and doesn't play. And then they traded for Kenny Pickett from the Philadelphia Eagles. So it would be hilarious to they tell Myles Garrett they've got everything figured out. Now they have 5 quarterbacks. They'll probably cut Gabriel, start Sanders, keep paying what's his face? Deshaun tens of millions of dollars a year not to play, and then Flacco can't be cheap. But my God, I mean, what? So they promised Myles Garrett there, and he's like, "You are dysfunctional," and all they do is prove it. And Rich says he's embarrassed to be from Cleveland.
That's a rough one, man. That's a lot of quarterbacks. And that's honestly, everybody's talking about, almost like gloating about the fact that he wasn't getting drafted, which I found kind of annoying, because what they left out is apparently this is a year where there just wasn't a lot of teams looking for quarterbacks, which is kind of rough. It's not like wide receivers where there's a lot of wide receivers. So, you know, everybody's always going to be kind of looking. I mean, as a team, you're either looking for a quarterback or you're not, you know. And
Joel, actually, Joel is going to walk on at Cleveland. He's going to pull like back in the day when the Eagles, they made that Marky Mark movie where they just threw it out like, hey, can you kick a football? Come try out for the Eagles. Joel's going to go walk on.
Oh, man. There you go. I hope it comes down between Joel and Shedeur Sanders for starting in Cleveland at the end of the preseason. I hope he just knocks the dick off of everybody on.
Here's the thing with Sanders. We're learning more about his interviews. Apparently, a couple teams gave him playbooks to study so that they could interview him and talk about the plays. He didn't do any of his homework and showed up and like started talking about, hey, this is what I bring to the team. What are you going to do to support me? I'm going to change the culture of your locker room. And they're like, yeah, I'm not sure if we want our culture changed. But now that he is such a low, he has every opportunity to go in the league fucking angry and prove.
I've been thinking about that. Now he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got a fucking grind, man. And you know, everybody that's kind of gloating about, oh, he only got the 4th round, the 5th round, whatever. There was a lowly quarterback named Tom Brady who got picked in the 6th round, and he went on to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
Brady, never heard of him. What happened to him? He just faded away because he was picked 6th. I never heard of him.
Well, apparently, yeah, he did okay in New England. I heard went down to Tampa, had a good couple years.
He might have won one in Tampa and then retired and then came out of retirement. No, seriously, yeah, he could pull a Brady. Rodgers carried his anger with him for years through MVPs. He only got the one Super Bowl, but I mean, Rodgers, I think, should go to Pittsburgh and play his ass off and prove everyone wrong, because he ended up on the Jets, another dysfunctional fuck team.
Yeah, and I mean, look, at the end of the day, everybody who's saying this and that about him not going early, I mean, that does suck for him now, and it certainly sucks for whatever kind of paycheck he thought he would be getting for a first round pick. That said, from here on out, it's not like year two, your draft placement matters. All that happens is what happened in your year one. And a lot of quarterbacks, they don't even really start them during year one. They're kind of developing them and stuff like that. And so this he's still on the team. He's still got the opportunity to make things happen on the field. You know.
I hear you. I disagree with one thing you just said. Generally, young quarterbacks do get drafted and thrown in, and then they don't do well the first year, and then they're called a bust. They forget that Peyton Manning started and was
They don't always
year.
start. They don't always start.
Yeah, they should sit for a year and learn, like Love for the Packers, like Rodgers for the Packers. You should sit your like Caleb Williams was the biggest quote bust last year for the Bears because he was all hyped up. They threw him in, and fuck, I can't even remember how many games they won. It was so few.
Didn't
won.
Patrick Mahomes? I don't think played much his first year. You know, and look at him now. So
I want everybody in the chat, everybody watching, and Jake, when you're done, Google the 12 days of Bears. I'm not sure what to call it, but someone took a 12 days of Christmas and turned it into the Bears losing season last year, and it was great because there's one guy in the background just beatboxing going.
If you're playing a prank on me and it's 12 big hairy dudes fucking each other, I'm going to be very upset.
No, there's one dude in the background beatboxing like Bears, the Bears, the Bears on the first loss of this streak the Bears gave to me. I mean, I've watched it 1,000 times. The Bears.
I will say about the Bears this year, they got Detroit's offensive coordinator from the last year, and he was great. So I know as a Lions fan, I'm going to miss that guy.
Johnny Manziel was underrated. No, there's a guy who went in fully admitting after the fact, after Manziel washed out, he admitted he didn't read the playbook. He didn't. He admitted he was a drunk that bombed, and he shot himself in the foot. He went in unprepared. He didn't practice. Here's a quick.
To be fair, Manziel was kind of small for the NFL. I'm not saying
Flutie
for college. What's up?
So was Flutie. Doug Flutie was a little guy, and he did.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying there's never exceptions. I'm just saying it's a hell of a lot tougher being a 5 foot something quarterback when there's 300 pounds that are as fast as Jaguars fucking coming at you, man. That's wild.
Johnny Manziel was the Shia LaBeouf of football. I don't even know what that means, but it makes me laugh because I just think of Shia infecting singers with herpes, whoever it was. All right, I have a Johnny Manziel story really quickly. Do you remember the hype around Cleveland when they drafted him? Like, I was performing in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, which is 45 minutes south of Cleveland, when they drafted him. And the hype was huge. Everyone's like, oh, we got Johnny Football. We got Johnny Football. And the club owner, Funny Stop Comedy Club, Cuyahoga Falls. This is a free plug. I'm not getting paid by them, but I love the comedy club. Go if you are anywhere in Southeast Ohio. Anyway, Funny Stop Comedy. So the owner goes on live radio, and this is the week of the draft, and everyone's excited, like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. We got Johnny Football. And he just starts shitting on him. He's like, no, Cleveland's going to ruin him. He's going to wash out. Johnny sucks. Everybody's excited. Like, just popping their bubble. Like, dude, you're a business owner. You could not go on public air right now and piss off everyone. But he didn't care. He's like, no, he's going to wash. And he was right. He washed out. But man, week of, you just let people be happy and you don't shit on their dreams. Johnny Manziel dismantled Alabama and Tuscaloosa. Best game in that stadium was quiet. He was a great college player. I mean, he had the gifts. If he had studied, he could have done well in the NFL. He admits he was a drunk.
Again, man, there's that, and then you combine it with the fact that I mean, dudes are just bigger and faster in the NFL, and if you're a smaller quarterback, man, I mean, that can really hamper you. Like football's not gonna.
Here, I'm gonna get the numbers wrong because I'm stupid, but look at it this way: there are 5,000 colleges. I mean, from high ranked to just every 5,000 colleges with football teams. There are 32 NFL teams, so that funnel to get into the NFL is pretty fucking small.
And man, if you guys if you haven't seen the Hard Knocks on HBO's season with the Detroit Lions, it was really I say that not just because I'm a Lions fan, but they're covering their drafting and their preseason and stuff like that. I didn't realize until I watched that they cut about a third of the people that are on their roster in the preseason. It is like fucking Squid Game, and it's Squid Game with people who are at the top of you know the at the top of their game in college. Also, I apologize. Old, so if I'm talking a little funny.
No, that's all right. You are within inches of the goal line, of the finish line when you are in the preseason, and you still need every bit of, to get across that. I mean, it's brutal. It is a brutal, and I'm going to say this word, business, not sport. It's a brutal business. Don Pauly Walnuts. I just started doing open mics here in Charlotte, and if it continues well, I'm going to go to Austin. So, Don, are you trying to be a comic? Because two comics right here can probably tell you, get a real job, get a paycheck, do something good with your life. this, you got an asshole sitting in a basement doing a podcast. It's not.
If I could take a time machine, I would go back to when I started comedy and tell myself literally donating plasma for money would be a better business decision than this.
Todd Rubel is confirming what you just said. A 2-second window in college is a half a second in the NFL. That's what I was always told. Yeah, they're just faster. If you think you have 2 seconds to get rid of the ball, you've got, a defensive lineman tackling your ass. Here's the way I always heard it. I heard when it comes to going from college to the NFL, you get handed a phone book of plays and told, memorize this. And it's like, yeah, that's what Devontae Adams has said. All he did, I would like to be good. He would just get up and start running routes. That's it. He would get to the practice field early and run routes. He would study. That's all you do is practice and memorize.
And Johnny Manziel tried to do all that hungover at 5'9" or whatever he was.
All right, let's continue with football because I wanted to talk about this. Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, a timeline of their relationship from a chance meeting on a flight to the fallout from that awkward CBS Sunday morning interview. I wish now CBS put the one clip of her in there, like being just hard as fucking nails.
I want to talk about a guy who had a rough interview. All right, forget about Shedeur Sanders. That Belichick one, my God, getting scolded by his 24-year-old sugar baby off to the side. Oh,
even better is, did you read some of the articles? CBS said the only reason they put that interjection in is because it happens so often. Like they didn't say like, oh, she did this once, so we're going to embarrass her. Ha ha. That was the one they chose to put in out of all of them. She apparently is large and in charge of that interview. And I read this. I told this when you were getting technical. Apparently, before him, he's 73. She dated a 64-year-old CEO. She knows what she's doing. She is in the hunt for a big payday when Grandpa dies off.
Oh, just to be clear, no dudes in their 60s who are like retired dock workers hanging out at VFW. None of that. Like it's not the right hair that she's into.
It's just, but man, everybody was like 2 weeks ago, everybody's calling her a bimbo and saying she's stupid and gross and how can she be? Oh, she knows exactly what she's doing. She is in control. She wears the pants in that relationship. She changes the diapers. So good for her. I mean,
to me, I look at that and I'm like, I think the dude likes to be kind of dominated by a chick. You know what I mean? I think he was in charge for so long that he likes it not just in the bedroom, but a lot of those people in those BDSM relationships or whatever, it kind of carries on into the the rest of life. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I think she's telling the dude what to do. I think it's one of those things. She's gonna throw a dog collar and an orange ball gag on him after the interview, and she's just gonna while she's while he's licking her dominatrix boot earlier that day, she's like, I'm gonna embarrass the fuck out of you on 60 Minutes, bitch. And it's a whole thing they do.
We've talked about this before. I completely forgot this, but you are 100% right. Um, I dated a girl that then went on to become a light dominatrix. She was into spanking, and she said that all of her clients were CEOs, upper crust. Like it wasn't the fucking cashier at Walmart that was saying spank me. It was the guys that controlled everything throughout everything aspect of their life. And so this is the one area where they could go and just sit back and be told what to do. You fucking nailed it. I bet that is
That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. I think earlier in the day before they're gonna do it that night, she like just throws a big phone book of plays at him and she's like, memorize these, bitch. And he's just like, this doesn't even make sense. This doesn't even you're like snapping sideways to an offensive lineman. I can't, this is ridiculous. You don't know how football's played. And then she beats him for not memorizing her plays.
not even have sex. I mean, like, I'm starting to think that, like, she might just be like, no, I spank you. She might grant them sex once every 3 months, if she gets drunk enough. But I mean, this might be a complete control thing. Like, I'll give you sex when I want to, which is a granted thing, but like, and she never will.
I think that could be it, man. I think it could be a total after watching the way she shut him down in that interview. Because, dude, here's the thing. I am married to an age appropriate woman. We're very much equals in the relationship. Uh, my wife could get away with saying whatever. That said, if I was doing, who was this interview with? Was this ABC?
CBS, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning.
About stand up or podcasts or going bald, any of the things that I do. And she just pipes in, just, hey, we're not talking about that. I mean, I could not fucking imagine. I would look at my wife mid interview. I would be like, turn the cameras off. Listen, get the fuck out of here. Like, I would be like, I cannot believe you did this during an interview. Unless it was now I know it was about their relationship. If it was some deeply personal thing, like, hey, we just talked about stand up. How's your wife at giving head? You know what I mean? Like, I could see her jump in and be like, hey, but like, how did you and your wife meet? She goes, we're not talking about this, bitch boy. I like, no, screw you. Get out. Wait for me in the car. Fuck off. CBC has questions for me, not my sugar baby. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe he didn't do that. I think she's totally running the show over there. You know who's really got to worry about this? Belichick's 3 kids. Oh yeah, just like you said, she wants a rich guy. She wants an old guy. And make no mistake, she wants that Belichick fortune. You know damn well if she's piping up like that during interviews, she is going to be pushing papers in front of him as he gets old and confused, talking about sign these. No, your kids don't love you. They don't want you to fuck a young 24-year-old. They don't love you. They hate you. Just sign the thing, and I'll give you a cookie. It's gonna be a whole thing.
I got nothing to add. You nailed it right there. Although Don Pauly says, come on, Bill knows Rob Gronkowski. He definitely knows how to slip a couple pills in drinks. And that might be a story. I don't know. I've never heard about Gronk being a.
Yeah, I think. Here's the thing. I think Gronk goes to the bars with roofies, but he just uses them on himself. I think he just likes to party and just drinks his own roofies to get fucked up.
Right, next story. Former Disney employee sentenced to 3 years for hacking menus to remove allergy information and add profanities. Oh, dude, you were so close on this one. I mean, what's the dude's name? Michael Scheuer, 40 of Winter Guard, served 3 years. You had the perfect opportunity to have a hilarious prank right there. If you hacked into the menus, you could write whatever you want. Leave the allergens alone. If all you did was fuck with the menu, it would be hilarious to the outside world. The judge would give you a slap on the wrist. But when you put people in the position to go into anaphylactic shock and die, what were you thinking? And unless he's a sociopath, because this had the opportunity to be hilarious. You could go in and like do some of those weird fucking Asian fetish art, put like a nude picture of Minnie Mouse in there. So when the parent shows their kid, it's like, But yeah, you went too far. Why would you do that? If you've hacked it, you could have had so much fun.
Shithead thing to do. I have to take the prankster side though, just out of general principle. I would like to believe that he doesn't have access to everything. You know what I mean? Like Disney's probably got a pretty big software team. He probably works on a portion of the menu. I doubt you go in there and the whole thing is just like a Microsoft Word doc where you can just change whatever the fuck you want. He probably only had access to because make no mistake, a dude like this, if he could change it, by golly, it would have been changed. He would have changed all kinds of shit.
All kind of shit. But right here, I was just going to say he should have changed, and then I scrolled down, and he did. He changed the pricing of some items on the menu. That's what I would do. As someone with 2 kids that's been to Disney World, I would hack in and be like, "Oh no, that $12 peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that's $2." I would make everything affordable for families. That's what I would do if I hacked into the menu. Because it's absurd. Like I said, not a Lunchable. What is it? Uncrustable. You know what Uncrustables are, right? They're frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that are mushed together so they don't have a crust. That was like $8. It's a dollar item. Change that. He should have changed all the prices. He'd still get fired, but he wouldn't go to jail. He'd get a slap on the wrist. It's all about the allergens that he changed. Change the prices. Anybody that hacks into Disney's menus next, make it affordable.
Prices. Come on, man. He's a prankster. He wants to. He. I want to know what vulgarities he put in there because it didn't say. I was trying to look and see.
Something like a fucking fish sandwich or a goddamn grilled cheese. I don't know.
I still think he got too much time. Didn't they say like 3 years plus 700 grand or something crazy like?
Yeah, something like that. Was charged with 1 count of knowingly causing the transmission of a program, code, or command to a protected computer and intentionally causing damage without authorization in excess of 5. That's big.
That's 3 years.
Well, it's the allergens. You try that could.
Okay, I get that has to be done. Don't get me wrong. If there was some dead kid from a peanut allergy and there was a mother crying like the lady in Jaws in front of the sheriff going, "You knew this was a problem, sheriff. Why?" If she was sitting there going, "Your food had peanuts," but instead of listing it on the thing, it just said, "If your kid has a peanut allergy, go suck a dick." Well, my kid did go suck a dick, and then he ate your Snickers bar that I paid $12 for, and now he's dead. He died from a $12 Snickers bar at your park, and it could have been prevented. If that actually happened, then I get the 3 years. If it's just wow, this could have gone really wrong, but didn't, then it's like, $50 fine and he's fired. I think that's fair.
Rubel says fancy way to say hacking. Yeah, that word salad I tossed out. They could have just said hack. Here's the part I don't like. Apparently, he's a disgruntled fired employee. That's why he did it. I would have preferred if he had just done it as a joke. That would be funny. Like, hey, I found a way to hack in, but he got fired, so this is revenge.
It's a firing offense, not a. You got to go to prison for 3 years.
He got fired, then he hacked in as revenge, is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, it's still. I mean, 3 years in prison seems heavy for this. I'm just saying, there's guys that have committed, assault, like aggravated assault, and got less time than this guy did for going. I'm gonna replace peanuts with peanuts. Like it's a fucking stupid thing to go to. Can you imagine going to prison and you're sitting there? There's guys next to you with MS-13 tattoos, little teardrops, all kinds of.
Those guys are in El Salvador now.
That's right. Trump's going to send him to El Salvador because Disney's a big corrupt country, and country. Yeah, it is its own little country down there, and they're going to bribe the president to ship their enemies off to El Salvador to make a message. You know what I mean? And he's just sitting there, and guys are looking at him, going, "What'd you do to get in here?" And he's like, "I changed the allergies on Disney's website to say penis instead of
here."
Like, dude, he's having a rough 3 years.
No. Yes, I do, sweetie. My daughter's talking to me through the vent right now.
Every single. What's up?
Yes, it is, sweetie. It's too noisy. I love you.
How much longer until you're done?
I don't know. 15 minutes. She wants to make more noise.
I'll give her a Snickers bar. That might quiet her down the rest of the show.
All right. Okay, this was a big story this week, and it turned out to be a big nothing. Amazon and White House crosshairs over report of displaying tariff costs. Oh my God, Amazon abs.
Hang on, before we go on to this, Don Polly Walnuts brings up an interesting point. Luigi shot a CEO dead, and people want to see him free, but no one wants to see the guy who changed words and numbers free. I do. That's my thing. Is they're giving this guy the Luigi treatment? Luigi killed a CEO. This guy pulled a fucking prank and put some dirty words on a menu.
This guy, if a CEO with a peanut allergy had eaten something and died, then I would want him free. If he had gotten a healthcare CEO, then I would be on his side too.
It's one of those things like again, if some parent had a sick kid or actually sued Disney for this, I could see at least the monetary value of this. But like the fact that he's getting 3 years and has to pay $7,000, I mean, but the fact that it's not one or the other at that point is crazy to me.
I don't disagree. It's just it's his fault for the allergens. I swear that if he had done anything but that, he would have gotten a lesser.
You're probably right, but I'm just saying nobody actually got sick from this. So I didn't. Hey man, I still think it's on the fucking parent. I'm sorry, man. If it turns out one of my kids has a peanut allergy, and I'm like, let's see, I could get him popcorn, or I could get him Snickers. Oh, let me go down and see if there's a big red warning. It's like, come on, man, take some responsibility as a parent. I feel.
The menu says there's no allergen, and there's an allergen because he changed it.
True, and I guess with certain things, it's not always as obvious as peanuts in a Snicker. Again, I totally would get it if some kid accidentally got sick. That didn't happen. So, what are we talking about? It's a drunk driver that didn't hit anybody. You know what I mean? He's a drunk driver he should get the same charge as a drunk driver. He should get the same thing I got for when I got arrested for drunk driving. I'm just saying, we put the same amount of people at risk. I could have arguably done a lot more damage by running into somebody than this guy did by fucking with the allergy thing on Disney's website. Meanwhile, I'm here to walk free, and this guy's in prison. It's not right. It's injustice.
Can't argue that. All right, the other story. Amazon and White House crosshairs over a report of displaying tariff costs. Apparently, this wasn't a thing. It's just a conspiracy theory, internet rumor. They said Amazon was going to do it. The White House got pissed off. Bezos said, no, we're not doing that. I think they fucking should. I think there should be side-by-side pricing. There's an app called Honey that I have on my browser that hooks to Amazon. It tells you recent price increase, recent price decrease. It follows the price for you and tells you whether or not you should buy it right now or wait a week. I can't wait to see what Honey is doing, but I would love it if Amazon put last week's price, this week's price right on their website to show like tariff cost. Because I've seen a couple of receipts. I've seen a couple of things on Reddit where someone showed a receipt and said, but they were confused people. They were saying, wait a second, it says this amount, and then it says import cost. What the fuck? I didn't ask for an import cost, blah, blah, blah. I think every receipt should show, fuck, I'm swallowing burps, what the tariffs are doing.
I mean, look, it's a tax. I mean, whenever you check out, there's the whole like, this is the price of the good, this is shipping, this is taxes. I don't know why if they're gonna charge you. I don't know what's wrong with listing it. We have to pay the fucking thing, so show it. And you could even suck up to Trump with it and just put a little thing like, here's the regular taxes, here's this other tax that's actually China and Biden's fault somehow. Hey, list it as that. We'll know what you mean.
Call it a Patriot tax.
Here's
the Patriot tax.
Yeah. This is the Patriot tax. This is the America becoming great again tax.
3 more stories we'll bang out really quick. One, Jake, we got to do a road trip. Idaho podcast. Hetero Awesome Fest planned for Idaho capital during LGBTQ Pride Month. Yes, June is Pride Month, but that's not enough for one restaurant owner. Matt Fitzpatrick, owner of the Old State Saloon in Eagle, a suburb of Boise, said the event was inspired by the restaurant's inaugural Heterosexual Awareness Month held last June. So wait a second, this sounds like a downgrade. Last month he did Heterosexual Awareness Month because people aren't aware of what heterosexual is, but now it's Hetero Awesome Fest. I mean, it's not even a month, it's a festival. I don't know. I'm still in. You want to go celebrate our heteronormative behaviors? We're white men. We got a lot of things going for us. Cisgender, that's a cool hip term kids use these days.
Okay, I'm putting this together and seeing that YouTube's technology once again failed us. There's a 12-second gap where we were talking, but nothing was being recorded. The next story is an Idaho man is celebrating heterosexual awesomeness. There you go.
Fest and Heterosexual Awareness Month aim to celebrate the traditional family unit and address concerns about cultural trends influenced by liberal progressivism. Hey, you know what I saw in my newsfeed this morning? Minnesota State Trooper, white guy, getting arrested for child porn. It's funny how that never happens at Pride Month or with drag queens. Drag queens, you don't hear too many. So I don't know what the. He has 6 fucking kids. That's too many. You're in zone coverage. You're my wife and I have 2 kids. It's man coverage and we're still outnumbered. They still get away with shit. 6 is too many.
For that man just snapping and going off the deep end. And, one day he's jerking off the tentacle and feet stuff. The next day he's trying to order a kid on the dark web. I mean, that's what happens when you spend too much time around your family. You just go insane. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go insane like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. People go insane in different ways,
Sometimes Texas moms drown their babies. It happens.
Right. No, yeah, I do like the name of what was this hetero awesome month or what? I don't have it pulled up.
Hetero Awesome Fest. Hetero
Awesome. It really shows you that like this can't be the first one because they're like, listen, the last hetero fest we had kind of sucked. The floats looked like shit. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of fun. No good bands. No, hey, hang on. This one's gonna be awesome because this is the hetero awesome fest. It's not gonna suck like that last one.
The article he says you don't have it pulled up. He said that he's trying to do it to give people an alternative. He said, I can't go downtown Boise during Pride Month because of all that's going on down there. Yeah, you can. You can go down there. You just choose not to because you're afraid of rainbows, you fucking pussy.
This feels like the kind of thing that a lot of closeted guys go to. I don't think seeing rainbow flags, especially the new ones with the little triangle with the the trans rainbow on there. If that
Yeah. I've seen that.
you got some other stuff going on. I think there's a lot of closeted dudes at Hetero Awesome Fest, to be honest.
Here's how we know you're right, Jake. After last year's Heterosexual Awesomeness Month went viral, Fitzpatrick said he received death threats, but that the positivity was, quote, overwhelmingly more powerful. Positive. That's pretty gay right there. To have a straight guy out there going like the positivity was just so powerful. I got such great that's gay to be talking about the positivity and love and the.
I am getting Christian turn you straight Bible camp vibes from this guy. In fact, I will say to any of the people celebrating Pride Month in Boise, you get bonus points if you bang a dude at the Hetero Awesome Fest. That's bonus points, dude. You know how like Boy Scouts they get the patches and all that. This is like the most coveted patch of Pride Month right here. If you bang a guy at Hetero Awesome Fest, that's like becoming an Eagle Scout for gay.
Well, my favorite part of the whole article, and then we'll do our last. I don't know. Fitzpatrick said that he had never been to Boise Pride. So you've never been there, and you're complaining you can't go there because of all that happens, but you don't know what happens. You just gotta love you don't have to go. No one's telling you to go, but to start your alternative festival, this guy's a closet.
With every parade. I hope on Cinco de Mayo, he is like, this is May 5 and nothing more. And he shows up dressed like he's in the Revolutionary War or whatever. He's got the fucking wig and the hat and all that. I hope he does the whole thing. And I hope he's at the St. Patty's Day talking about get out of here. I like the bad guys in gangs in New York, And I hope he's dressed like Bill the Butcher. He's got the one glass eye and the top hat, the mustache with the curlies, all of it.
Any celebration, Todd. That's Matthew Shepard territory. I think that was Wyoming. Matthew Shepard, I'm pretty sure was Wyoming. Yeah, they do the whole hetero circle biscuit, don't they? They probably do that. All right. Child damages $56 million Rothko painting at Netherlands Museum. All right, I'm going to say right here, I get it. Art is subjective, but seriously, when you add value to art by saying it is worth this much, this fucking painting is a blotch of yellow, a sort of off-white pink. It looks like a bad flag held sideways, and then there's orange at the bottom. 65 million, $56 million. Fuck you. Fuck you.
When I first read the headline, I was like, oh, this is going to be some kind of climate activist thing. This kid went and threw red paint on it or slashed it up, something happened. No, he just touched it and it kind of smudged it a bit, I guess. And I mean, again, I'm not an art critic or whatever, but you described it pretty well. It's a white line, yellow line, orange line. It said that he touched about. There's guys carrying this thing with like masks and gloves and everything. You would think they were on the roof of Chernobyl after the thing blew apart. It's like, oh my God, we can't get, I mean, like, dude, he scuffed the orange. Here's the thing, not to downplay this. I know this is a serious international tragedy, but here I think I figured out how they can restore that bottom part that he might have smudged a bit. How about we use a little orange, huh? How about we put a little orange on there? I think we'll cover it. In fact, you know what? This looks so easy. This picture looks like a kid painted it. You're talking about a kid destroyed a $56 million painting by smudging. It looks like this was made. My 2-year-old could do this fucking painting. All right. In fact, I think for community service, we should make the kid do it. Yeah. You give the kid an orange crayon and just like fix where you smudge, you little son of a bitch. And he goes, it's orange again. Boom. We got it.
You said you thought I was an activist. I missed the first, when I read it, the Rothko painting. I heard $56 million painting and my brain went, oh, Rembrandt, Picasso, not some guy from 30, 40 years ago just spitting on it. Like, this isn't even that old. It's a, like, what do they say, a 1960s painting. 19
there with paint and like made Dolly's dripping clocks look normal and round. I get it. That's pretty fucked up. He smudged a little bit of the thing that was just a big orange line. Anyway, I think we can fix this one with a bit of orange paint, boys. I don't think you really need to. This is the easiest art restoration job any of those guys has ever had. I guarantee they can do it.
I don't victim shame often, even though I've probably victim shamed quite often on this podcast. But here's the deal. I've never seen the Mona Lisa live in person, but from what I understand, it's behind a protective case. You can't just walk up and scratch at it. If this is a $56 million painting, you might want to protect it. It's just sitting out there for kids to walk up to and scratch at. Like, I mean, if it is really worth $56 million, put it behind some glass.
They always, dude, for the longest time. You come to the Netherlands, hey, drugs are legal here. Do what you want. If you kill somebody, you go to like a dormitory instead of like a prison. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Those Scandinavian countries, they just kind of let you do whatever you want up there.
Right. I don't want to spend too much time on this last story. I just thought it was funny. Trump wants to yank Harvard's tax exempt status because, he doesn't like them. I think he's using anti-Semitism as the reason because they didn't do enough because they're standing up to him. But hey, here's an idea.
Sorry, what is this one again?
Yank Harvard's tax exempt status. If we're yanking tax exempt status, I know it's the oldest joke in the world, or oldest. The church, they seem to have a history of taking money and paying off families whose boys they diddled, whose kids they diddled. Maybe yank their exempt status. I mean, I don't know why Harvard has one in the first place.
I'm shocked. I just found out that any schools have tax exempt statuses, man.
I said that in the beginning when you were having technical difficulties. I'm like, I didn't know Harvard had to. Yeah, it's what
you're taking like $100,000 a year for tuition or whatever from these people. This isn't the shitty University of Iowa where I went. All right, where it's a bunch of hungover kids from the suburbs of Illinois, of Chicago. Like, that's not. This is like there. There they were eating McDonald's for lunch and stuff. These guys are drinking the blood of babies so that the adrenochrome will keep them young for lunch, just in a lunchbox at these colleges. They're paying you crazy tuition. You can afford to pay taxes. This is crazy.
He says, what about the security guard that drew eyes on the faceless people painting? He improved it. I didn't see that, but I'm going to Google it. Google. Here we go. This is what I'm going to close with. I want someone out there to go put googly eyes on some paintings. That's what I want to see. I want to see I want googly eyes on paintings.
Dick in the Mona Lisa's mouth.
There you go. You can put the dick on the plexiglass, and then the Mona Lisa is unharmed, but you still see the dick. See, that's what this place. I have been Nathan Timmel. You can find all things me at nathantimmel.com. T-shirt store, YouTube special. Everything is at nathantimmel.com. Jake has a YouTube special called Unalived by Dog Pills. You can find everything Jake using the sign at Jake Vevra on all social media. Is there our names on these things? I can't tell. Vevera if it's not spelled out on your screen right now, or if you're listening on Spotify. Other than that, we will see you next Saturday around noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, and then just keep backing it up all the way until you're looking at us live at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in Hawaii. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Belichick took his girlfriend to the Netherlands and she ruined a painting.